go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I'm trying through the climb, I ain't like pain. You never hit the bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, is belief. We'll see if you can negativity, but I just gotta let that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 you got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst I say, turn them to a pain. Take the best I say, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a plan, and you find a door. Open it up, and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, still go, go, there's no hope, still go, I never answer to no, I still go, go.
Yo, it's White Boy Lock Radio, got the mic in my grip. Dropping truth bombs while these cyber clowns trip. Parodies in the mix, man, we ain't just a show. Hunting down the tragedy pimps, letting them know. Laughs and facts, that's how we roll. With my fam by my side, yeah, we taking control. Damaged goods with no regrets, but we rock it with pride. Just the truth to provide. We don't play with bullies, we stand tall. Facing the demons, hear the truth in our call. So if you're ready for a ride, it's strapping tight. White boy and wifey coming out swinging the night, yeah. Chris wit like a razor, sharp enough to cut while we're taking shots at the fakes and the nuts. Social media wildin', but we keep it real. No time for the haters, let them know how we feel. This ain't just a show, it's a battle rap. Spilling the tea on the drama, no cap in my map. So let's get it poppin', can you handle the heat? Step up, little player, bring the truth to your feet. We don't play with bullies, no, we stand tall. Facing the demons, hear the truth in our call. So if you're ready for a ride, it's strapping tight. White boy and wifey coming out swinging the night, yeah. Yeah, man, so if you're vibing, come and join the crew. We're taking back the power, it's the realest debut. With laughter and facts, we'll flip the script. Lockdown radio is where the truth is equipped. So fuck around and find out, but hold tight to your pride. In this world full of noise, let's silence the lies, yeah.
Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
I'm playing that clip on this channel for years. I would hope nobody is stupid enough to take that as a threat, you know, because Fox News pundits say fuck around and find out. I didn't make that up. I wish that I did. I'd have it on a t-shirt somewhere. But, you know, this case is crazy. And as you see on the thumbnail and then the title, you know, what's really happening with the Sebastian Riders case and all this legal stuff. Pertaining to my recent thing that I was served, you know, unfortunately, I can't talk about it. I really want to, you know, I will, but, you know, F around and find out is in there as a threat. I don't understand how that's possible. And as a direct threat, right? You know, I don't think anybody watching was too offended at that clip I just played, right? But there's lots of lies, people. So Noelle was served. So here's the deal. Quick update, because a lot of people are not only contacted me about this, but also what happened with what JLR posted. And I'm going to talk to you about that tonight as well, because I did call Dawn before I did this live. But what I want to talk about tonight is simple. I want to talk about like this Sebastian Riders case changed YouTube. It really did change YouTube. And we're going to get into it, because a lot of you guys have been telling me in my comments for a long time now about Seth and all this money. And we're going to get into it tonight, right? But as a discussion, because there's not a lot, I don't have a lot of time to just come on here and chop it up with everybody all the time, right? I'm not a channel that goes live like most others. I wish I could. But tonight we're going to talk about it, right? And I'll get into all of my points and stuff. But, you know, there's all these legal aspects within the case as well, right? Obviously, you know, Granny's watching and Barbecue Lady have gone through. You know, now this is going to be the second protection order that has been issued against me. The first one was absolutely thrown out in regards to other people that I don't know. And this would be Hong and Nick at night, right? Which happened to be within, I have no idea why I was even added into that multiple times within the Granny's Watching Barbecue stuff, which was their whole separate situation, right? But, you know, here I have a solely one. And just a quick update, because people are contacting me about this. Again, I don't want to talk about things that I shouldn't talk about, but I will give my audience an update. So here's what I can tell you. So I was served this, right? And it was immediately denied. Right? It was immediately denied. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Lucky donated me $5. I'm going to use Lucky as an example. I can go get a protection. I can go get a temporary protection order against Lucky, right? As soon as this live ends, right? And the temporary protection order will be granted, right? Again, if I wanted to do it against Lucky, they have to do that, right? It's temporary. It doesn't mean that it's granted, right? Now, so initially when I was given this, what the receipts show, well, first and foremost is the person who's trying to put this against me is pro se. Okay, so we have a BHB situation. Now, I'm not pro se. Oh, no, I'm not. Now, it was automatically denied. Okay. Now, what happened was they had, you know, there was things were redone. Things were redone, right? And basically, what happened is they tried to get one protection order against me and Noelle, right? Because Noelle's all throughout it. Now, as of yesterday, Noelle was served. Right now, this all came from a field trip, people. A field trip. Now Noelle was served separately, right? Now, so they there was a protection order, filed against me, and it was immediately denied. Then it was remixed, if you will. We'll use the word remixed to try to tie me into something. Okay. So we file for, hey, need a little bit of time on this, because, it's hard, with these things, a lawyer, you can't just call a lawyer and they're ready to go in 1 week. Right. So you got to file for a continuance, to have time to hire a lawyer. Right. And as soon as I put the continuance in to hire the lawyer, Noel served with one. This is the same field trip, people. Now, fuck around and find out is not a threat. Now, here's a couple things. Like I told you last time, so there's so much I want to say that I can say, but I won't. A lot of you will laugh because you'll see, just like the other one with Hong and Nick, with all the lies. Oh my God, there's a lot of lies, people. However, it's so horrendous. It's actually horrendous, and I cannot wait until I can talk about it. But some things that stood out to me were like the police watching my video and saying there is absolutely no stalking and no harassment in the video. Fuck around and find out is stated as a direct threat. There's things as though like, damn it, I just was gonna. So many things. Okay, an example would be this. People. I can't help to notice that within this thing that I was served, it says that I'm losing. That because of my field trip, I'm making people lose subscribers. Guys, do you know there's websites? Do you guys know there's websites like Social Blade, for an example, that are like report cards for YouTube channels and social media accounts? And do you know these websites have massive analytics, right? So, just to, I was wondering, did my field trips make somebody lose subscribers? But another lie. And what if I told you that within me double checking this, I could prove that not only am I is this not a truth, but in fact it's looking like I have uncovered that someone's buying subscribers. Oh, I'll peel the banana back when I can, but and what's very comical is like everybody has assumptions, right? My field trip, well, I'm going to stop right now because people don't know when my field trip was. People don't know who I might know and said, and then, breaking into places, locked people. There's a lot of lies, But anyway, update is, it's crazy. Update is, I was initially served this and it was immediately denied. And they're trying to tie like Noel and myself into one. You can't do that. So separately, so what happens, class, if you try to say, hey, this person is doing this to me and it's denied, and then you come back, you have to put more information? Would one say more lies into the thing? So anyhow, we're not pro se, but according to the docket and everything I can tell, and what we're discovering and what we are discovering and trying to prove truth against lies are a whole bunch of other separate can of worms. But why is this? Why is there a second thing here? That's what my live tonight is going to in detail of how this case changed YouTube. And not just because of lawfare, but all types of things. And we're going to get into that in a second, right? Because that's going to be the meat and potatoes of this live. I also want to talk about the Josie situation, moron JLR. You guys, as much as I have ignored the comments up until this point, you guys will be a big part of this live. But who is in the comments? What's happening? Smash a like. We got 500 in here. It says 600. It says 30. I have no idea. It looks like we're live on Kick tonight. Thank God for one. Let's put these guys on here. So does that do anything what I just did, guys, on the bottom right of the screen? Can you see the comments? Is it even like worth me doing that? What's up, saying out loud? What's happening? It is way too small, isn't it? Yeah, we can't get jiggy with that shit. We're going back to this. Yeah, so I will, you know, I want to say this. White Boy is not too worried about it at all. Let me, yeah. I have a lot of lies to debunk. Well, not me, but we and Mr. Lawyer. But you have to come right if you're coming this way. I don't like lies. You know what am I to do, people? Like, there's a lot of wasted time on my end. What about my feelings? What about I'm also a victim? What about my feelings? Right? What about me? What about Wifey? You know, what about our feelings? What about you? What about us? You know, there's days off of work for this, people. This is very like financially draining, right? What about my emotional distress? What about my pain and suffering? You know, I was over here minding my business, really. But what about it? What about it? So we have to get to the bottom of this. Now we have to get to the bottom of this. For fuck's sake, says my biggest. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I keep seeing people on Twitter and stuff like that. I wouldn't get too excited if I was you. And I wouldn't worry so much for old White Boy if I was you. That's all I'm going to say about it. Now, you can do whatever you want. You know, I like my reputation to be, you know, truthful for the most part. I'm pretty much open and honest with you guys. My whole life is on this internet thing. There's nothing I have hid from you. I'm super transparent. So that's what I can tell you. But you know what is all this lawfare in this case? How has it changed this thing? I will jump subjects for a second. AI is one of my biggest conspiracies, man. Too hot in here. AI is one of my biggest conspiracies, and it's getting crazy. I'd like to share something with you. I made the following videos off a picture. I put a picture of Bullhorn Betty and a picture of Brittany J, and I prompted this. Now, I'm not going to say how I did this, where I did this, but to my audience, y'all put your seatbelts on, buckle up, and get ready, because we are now living in one of my biggest conspiracy theories. Welcome to the world of an age of AI. These videos were done off a simple and mere photograph. Let's explain. What the hell are you talking about, White Boy? Well, here you have. Let's have a look-see. Number one, I said, give me a video. Give me a video of a lady. Give me a video of a lady walking from behind the Chili's restaurants, yelling and angry about having pancakes. Now let's have a look-see at what the AI created. Now, I uploaded one of my famous thumbnails, which you can see right here. Oh, hold on, let's get a little better. And what did the AI give me as a delightful treat? It's pretty scary, people. This is pretty scary. Now, okay, so that one depends on what you do. The next one that I did, unfortunately, I have to spend money, which I will do. But the next one said, the next one I prompted, I said, have this woman cry about CPS coming to her house and having rot leg, CPS and having rot leg. Now, unfortunately, and after I didn't realize I have to pay for the service to get volume. So it gave me like blank audios, but have a listen and a look-see. People, I uploaded one photo. There's Brittany Dre crying. That's her literally crying. Look at it again. People, AI is serious. Now, if we can only imagine what the hell they had her say, and I will be paying for the audio form of it. I'm not going to tell you where I'd use my AI technology at. Hell's to the no. But I will tell you guys to please pay attention to AI. It's very important. Now, so many people contacted me about this asshole JLR. Do we have a clipsy? Do we have a clipsy of JLR? Can we get a special new event, a special news sound effect at this point? What's happening, folks? Like the bell, you know what to do. Listen, the problem is you people who watch Jonathan Lee Rich's Investigates, you keep coming over with the comments. You're observing information from somebody, and you're taking that information and you're debating, and you're coming over here with the negative comments because you now have information and you want to put it against mine. So I'm not going to debate you. I just want to show you who you're getting your information from, and I'm pretty sure after this, I will never get another comment from any of you people again. Have a nice life.
Hi, Jonathan Lee Riches. This message is for Dictator Adolf and James Holmes. I love you guys. I love you guys to death, and this is what I want to do to you guys. Use your imagination.
So, that was not AI. That was absolutely Jonathan, his old Facebook, if you will. Now, please, if you're a subscriber of his, do not come over here crying. It's not my fault that that's what that dude says and does. But if you get your information from somebody like that, hey, I think it speaks volumes, if you will. Now, what am I talking about? A lot of you people have reached out and said, hey, look what Jonathan posted about the Wells. And what he did is post some post, and what it said is Don and Candace Wells are the prime suspects. How dumb is this? It's basically saying like Katie and Chris are the prime suspects. What is a suspect? A suspect is somebody that is the police are looking for, right? Involved in a blank. What was that crime? So this is a missing person investigation, right? It's not a crime, and missing people investigations are two different things, right? Until there's foul play in the missing person investigation, there can be no crime, right? This is why a lot of these trashy pimps on YouTube are so clueless and stupid, because they mix the two things up, right? A missing persons investigation is absolutely led separately, right, than a crime scene, right? They're two different ball games and have to be treated as such to move forward the correct way until there's foul play involved. So for him to say that there's the prime suspects is just moronic, almost as dumb enough as that video I just played, but not quite. They're not a suspect in anything, right? Now, are they cleared? No. Is Seth cleared? No. Is Candace cleared? No. Is Chris? No. So in these two cases, none of the parental units are cleared. In my, I have a opinion about that, but I don't know if it's true. So here's my take at that. In both these cases, Sebastian and Summers, there's nothing going on. The police have nothing. I'm not saying the police are doing nothing. I think in both cases, they're working extremely hard. There's just no angles to run down. There's no, I think they follow up on leads. I think they do all that, but I think that they just came to empty hands, right? You can't just charge people because you don't like them. And I think that there's public outcry in both cases differently. And I think that some of the public outcry in both cases blame the parental units. So if they are, it very well be in both cases, the police are like, Jesus Christ, we've had a million tips about these parents, but we've looked thoroughly into them. And some of these morons on the internet don't know what having their data means. But if we come out and say, yeah, unfortunately, we looked all up in the parents, up, down, sideways, left, right, and backwards, there's just nothing on them. I think there'd be massive public outcry and people really start blaming the police. So in my view, and this is just my take on it and just my opinion on it, I think that they say not cleared as like a way of like leaving it linger, if you will, right? Now, I don't know this to be a fact. Let me hit some comments, see where you guys are out with this. Because in the John Benet Ramsey case, the police let the public really go at the parents and parentals very hard, and they treated different and they did things different, right? I think police let the harassment of parents go on haywire because sometimes people get so embarrassed or can't take public humiliation so bad that they'll just say, hey, over here, I did it. You know, so that's why I think in a lot of these cases, that's why they let people like Bullhorn Betty and these other tragedy pimps do these type of things. She's the one hiding. Oh, somebody's here. Can see them, they're just too small. Okay, I'm sorry for the comments. I've been slacking. I will be better at this point on. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. But yeah, I'm talking about how the investigations were handled. All right, so back to JLR. This guy is calling them prime suspects. It's so stupid. JLR is not only listen. I know the guy personally. I knew him personally. I know of him. I've been around him. So there's nobody on the internet that's going to tell me about JLR. That's just how that's going to go, right? If you happen to support him. If you do, that's fine, man. I'm not one of these people who tells you who to watch, who not to watch. You know, I'm not, you know, we're not doing it like that over here. But just don't, you can't tell me about people that I know in real life. If you haven't met them in real life, it's weird to me, right? But this guy, he's a moron, okay? Here's what I could tell y'all about this, right? So many people sent me this. So I called Don, and I called Don today because I was a little bit confused too about this situation, right? Because this is not new, right? And for the people who, so Don and Candace Wells have beaten and been cleared of all CPS charges. It is extremely, extremely frustrating, hard to explain the next couple things I want to say. And that's just the way that it is, people. Look, man. Yes, they were cleared. So if you don't know this, if you've been living under a rock, CPS took the boys from the Wells, right? They went to a family. So let me rewind. When everyone's sending me this video and this thing of JLR, to my knowledge, CPS took the boys from the Wells. And all of the boys group went to one family. There was a time like in public where these boys were with this family and the Wells were somewhere by them, and they were actually, got to, intertwine, communicate, talk to them. The family was cool. There's no animosity. There's no hate. Like that's happened. It's very public. People should know that. But I was unaware, okay, that Josie veered away from that family. In JLR's post, he says that Josie made a video for himself to get adopted. No, this is not true. Once again, okay, Don and Candace are not prime suspects. It's just not factual. Josie, a 15-year-old boy, does not have enough money to produce or hire editors, right, to put this video out, right? He doesn't own this YouTube channel that the video belongs on, right? This is the adoption company making a video, right, of Josie, right? And that's just what this is. It's complete gaslighting from an idiot who wants to suck off Adolf Hitler, apparently, right? This is what he wants to do to him. It's his words, not mine, people. But let's watch this video.
Hi, I'm Josie and I'm 15 years old. I like to play basketball, I like to play video games. I like the outside. I like biology. I used to play basketball a couple of times, but I like country music. I like drag racing. I play Fortnite. I used to play a little bit of Apex, but I stopped. But I'm gonna play Fortnite and computer science.
You had your own TikTok or YouTube channel. What would it be about?
Gaming.
You could have all the animals you wanted. What would you have?
Dog or some type of fish.
What makes you feel the people that you love them?
I show them respect.
How do you stay hopeful during hard times?
Just not try to think about it. I try to walk away.
What are you most proud of yourself for?
Not easily getting mad.
What's the best advice anybody's given you?
Just walk away. Just walk away when someone's trying to get to you, stuff like that.
What is something that most people don't know about you that you want to make sure the world does know?
I don't talk much.
Is it hard for you to open up to people?
At first, yeah, but after I started getting to know them, it's not hard.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Become a biologist.
What do they work on?
On animals and how we live together, stuff like that.
What are some things that you picture doing with the family?
Hang out, watch TV, talk.
Okay. Let me pause this. Actually. So here's what I can tell you guys, okay? I called because I was confused. Why was I confused about this? Well, I thought that this was an older video because I know that the kids have been taken away from the Wells, but this is not an older video. This is recent, okay? Josie apparently was separated from the family that initially took the kids from CPS when CPS took them from the Wells. Okay, great. Meanwhile, this is how confusing this is. And I don't have the answers for any of it, but I will tell you what I know. Don and Candace have been cleared of all CPS allegations against them. And yes, it is true that after these allegations and after CPS took the boys from them, that yes, they signed their rights over, right, to the family or the state. I don't know. The state, I'm sorry. Close that door.
It was like over a year.
Close that door.
You want her out? I'm coming in a minute.
All right. So when they lost custody through the court stuff, whatever, they signed their rights over, okay, through this legal process, if you will. Now, so normally, okay, so CPS cleared you of all the allegations. It doesn't matter if you signed your rights away. If you've been cleared, so if the kids weren't taken away from you, you wouldn't have signed your rights away, right? And now that you've been cleared of all allegations, why can't you just get your kids back? It doesn't work like that. They have even written the judge. The judge responded to them, written them back, right? With, in my opinion, a runaround message, a deflect message. I'm not in control of this. Here, I hear you, but I'm not in control of this. Lady, you served it. You were in charge of it. Now, there is a massive lawsuit right now against Tennessee, specifically CPS and DCF. Let me pause before I finish, because some of you may have heard about this from the guy on my thumbnail. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this.
My son's been missing for 15 months. And they don't care. I would love to see them actually conducting more searches. I'd like to have some communication on the tips that have come in just with me, so that I know that when a tip comes in, I'm not following up on what job they're supposed to. We need more than just one set of eyes on this case, but it all falls on my shoulders to ask people to help find my son. My son means something to me. These people should be doing their job. It's a federal oversight law on places like CPS, DCS.
So not only was there a law created, however, there's a massive class action lawsuit with, I believe, over 900 children in the lawsuit. Now, what does all this mean? How we don't know if Summer Wells or these boys are involved or in the 900 children within this class action lawsuit. Why can't we FOIA? Why don't we know? They're minors. And it's CPS related. You guys know how hard it is to find or FOIA anything with CPS involvement, right? So the answer to everybody when people say, well, why can't the Wells get their boys back? They've been cleared. Yes, they have been cleared of the CPS allegations. This is correct. They have written the judge, right? They have asked questions, people, that they just don't get answers, right? They are not to be like, I don't care what anyone thinks about if what I'm talking about right now is specifically Don and Candace and their boys, right? I'm not speaking about Summer Wells. So if you are somebody who thinks that like they are, massively guilty, right? There's all this evidence and there's definitely foul play in the disappearance of Summer Wells, right? And that's your conspiracy against the parents, right? You have to sit to the left. You're not allowed to join class with us because you already have a preconceived. You're already biased. You're already biased, and you're gonna come in here like a negative Nancy. You're gonna come in here. You can't control yourself, right? So sit over there, right? But for the people who could just put now, if you're adult enough to be like, okay, well, I kind of think they did something this summer, but okay, you're talking about the boys. Then come back, come back. Control yourself. Come back. There's no answers, people. Don't tell me that you know for a fact because you're in Tennessee. Okay, this happened to your friend. Man, stop. Just stop. Just stop. I know for a fact. I've seen it, right? These people reach out to the judge, right? CPS has cleared them. And there's also something going on in DC right now with another family, another person in this community that you know about who's fighting this good fight, right? Something I haven't spoke about, right? So there's a lot going into this that you just don't know about. The thing is, though, I can't offer these people any help, right? It's frustrating. You know, they've done everything that I could think of off the drop of a hat. They've already done. Imagine yourself in these shoes, right? Your kids were taken from you. You signed the rights away. Behind that, you end up beating all the allegations, every single thing CPS says against you, right? But they won't give you your kids back. What do? You're going to need money. Let me go to the comments on this because I can't offer assistance. But this is just what I know. I don't know too much in detail what that lawsuit is, the class action. I know it's specifically against CPS. You hear someone on the screen, Seth is talking about these things, right? Laws are changed. There's a lot happening in Tennessee about these things, right? If you know anything about CPS corruption, they're known to target the same family. They're known to take your kid. You go through all the necessary steps and all the monetary classes and all this type of stuff, and they're known to come back. I just don't have the answers for them, and it's very frustrating as a friend. You wait until the children are the age to legally speak to them themselves. Yeah, I've been telling them that for years. You know, listen, I've been telling them that for years. For years. In that video, Josie said he's 15 or 16 years old. So they have another 3 more years. And, you know, I remember talking to Don when all this initially happened, and it beat him up. And I said, dude, look, man, there's the internet now. I said, do you really think that this kid, right? And Josie was one that Don was very close with, you know. I remember specifically telling him, do you really think that he's not going to get on Facebook one day and message you? It doesn't matter who adopts or who legally has them or all that shit doesn't matter. Now it's back between son and dad. And at that point, you know, you can, you know, y'all can meet up. You can do a lot of things there, man. They doesn't matter whoever, you know, has them, adopts them. They cannot push you out of his life because they can always reconnect with you with the internet. And it did help them. It's just messed up that this CPS thing is frustrating and there is no answers, people. I asked him a million things. They are not getting answers, you know, from CPS. And this is a nightmare situation. And it's not fair. It's not fair. JOL wants time alone with Hitler sausage, and Whiteboy wants time alone with Don Wells sausage. So what's the difference? Your name is Big Bird. Your name is Big Bird. This is probably Josh, because this is probably Josh the Labs, the blue gumbout. You put blue gumballs in your dick skin. Like, tell me that's not like chomo-ish predatory behavior. It has to be, because you're the only one who says like weird shit like that. Like, I'm all down for the gay jokes, but at least make them funny. And we know that you have troll accounts, but you're such a pussy that you'll never come on this panel. Matter of fact, do I have the audio here? Now that I was, proudly showing my audio clips, where's the Josh clip of well, here it is. Wait. Oh, I have it. Yes. So check this shit out, people. I go on Josh the Lab's panel before. Look at this fucking fuckboy.
In the dark. What's up? Hey, white boy. I think you can super chat. Why don't you go ahead and just say what you want? It only costs you 99 cents.
I mean, dude, tell me you're scared without telling me you're scared. This just like a tragedy pimp, he wanted me to send a super chat because what he did is he had subscribers only on and he was watching the clock. It was like subscribe to the channel for 7 minutes. So it was like he watched the clock and then ended the live, right? When I could comment on this is the type of that's absolutely a Josh unbelievable. But whoever it's whoever it is keeps repeating that with different names. Just boot them. Like, it's not even funny. It's lame. What does it say? Once they are on their own. Like, I just put it on the screen and there was no laughing face emojis. Like, I mean, that's pretty much how Josh's humor is, though. Nobody thinks it's funny. Don and Candace, this isn't an end. I believe there'll be a time when you will have a relationship again. Easier said than done. Yeah, it is. You're right about that. What's up, Katie? It's very frustrating, though, to offer advice, and it's even more frustrating trying to have someone explain this to you. Like it's crazy how all this happened and they can't just get their boys back. Like, this has nothing to do with Summer. The boys were taken from CPS. They've been cleared from all allegations from CPS, and they still don't have their boys back. And to boot, the adoption company puts this video out. It's just almost like a to spite. Almost, it's almost like to spite. It's fucked up. It's not fair. I don't understand how how that even happens. At 15, it's not likely that any state agency could prevent a child from going to live with whatever parents they would like to live with. You would think so. You would think you would think so. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Exactly. This is the first. That's a great video. Which one? What's time? There's 700. Yeah, absolutely. Smash a like. Yeah. No words. No words. It is. Oh, what's up, Shay-B? What's happening? All right. So now back to this guy on the screen. For him, Josie, to be up for adoption, the Wells have had their rights terminated. Okay. What part of the class did she not understand? What part of the class did Kelly not understand? For him, Josie, to be up for adoption, the Wells have had to have their rights terminated. So, okay, wait a minute. Kelly may not be being slick. My bad, Kelly. So you are correct. So let me explain this again. It's so hard to explain. Not really. So the boys were taken away. Their CPS is demanding the Wells to do this in these classes and these classes and these classes. They're going to courts. They're going to these court dates, right? At some point, Don signs the rights away, right? Because of CPS coming to the house, taking the children, and holding the Wells to do these things the state feels the need they have to do under the allegations they were charged for. Okay? So they beat all the allegations, right? All these allegations are beat. So if the kids weren't taken, let me just say it like this. If CPS wasn't involved, they wouldn't have signed anything. The kids wouldn't have went anywhere. And being that they beat the allegations, being that the allegations are cleared, if CPS doesn't step in to involve themselves in a custody battle to where they sign their rights away under the allegations they charge the parents, if it's all said and done when the parents are cleared of these things, then why not give their kids back? Signing the rights away under the terms of the allegations they were underneath should be voided. Should be voided, right? I don't know, man. Even the judge doesn't know. And I've seen it, people. I've seen it. They contacted the judge, people. So it's not that they're not doing anything. It's not that they don't care. But we know lawyers cost a lot of money. And this is so weird in the legality of things. It's so weird, man, if you're following and listening to everything I'm saying, okay? Because here's where we're at. CPS comes. The boys, we don't know where Summer's at. The boys go to these people over here. They're all together. Something happened and Josie is taken out of that house. Okay? So Josie now goes over here. So that's a big point. We don't even know where Josie's at. Okay? At least when this one family had all the boys, we kind of like know who they are, right? We don't really know, and we're not supposed to poke our nose around there, but we know where the boys are at. But once Josie gets Noel, you want to help me out here? Once Josie is separated, we don't know where Josie's at. We're not told anywhere he's going. We cannot find any information of where he's even at until this video pops up. It's just all messy. It's all not clear. It's not simple. It's fucked up. And it is a government entity stepping in and putting down. CPS is fucked up, y'all. CPS is fucked up. It can be a great thing. It can be a great thing, but it can absolutely be weaponized.
Can you check your cash app?
My Cash App?
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, $50 from am I supposed to?
That's all I need to know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. I'm not going to say the full name. I'm not going to dox you on here on accidental.
I just texted and told.
All right. I appreciate that. 50 spot. Thank you so much. Two Wells boys have legally adopted. Have the younger two? Yes. So Den of Bears, they all went together. Den of Bears, they all went together. White boy Don Wells said you should put a Jimmy on your head because it looks like a pickle. Now, people, this was like straight comedy. Like, can we get some shit emojis in the comments? Just drop dookies. Like, what is this? You should have went way harder than that. You have to. Can you absolutely ban this person for their lack of being funny? Yeah. I mean, you could have went like 10 different like ways, right? If it's me, you could have clowned me like 10 different ways. Like, I'm fun with it, right? I'll have fun with it. Like, did you think I'm not gonna put it on the screen? Like, it's ridiculous. It's not funny. Like, this is not humorous. I mean, I could teach you, but you need to go to 1-800-FIND-A-JOKE. 1-800-FIND-A-JOKE. This is not funny. This is complete cornball. It's about money time. Seems that with no charges, they could gain some form of communication. Yeah, it's tough, people. It's very tough. I'm just trying to explain to you what I know, man, and it's messed up. Yeah, I appreciate that, Avery. Thank you very much. So, my daughter fought CPS and won. Holy shit, that's not something we hear ever. They've made our life hell for 6 years. I absolutely believe that. Despite a court order from them not to allow to have further contact because of the bullshit they pulled with forging stuff. Man, look here, man. So CPS is fucked up, people. I dated somebody a long time ago. I've told this story before. And she got into a situation with another female, and this chick put CPS on another lady. And I was like, don't do that. And she did it like drug related. So this person that I was dating, the person she did that to, this lady had to go through all these drug classes and all this shit just off of a mere like phone call, right? Off of hearsay. And I was like, that shit like really like rubbed me against like the wrong way when this person did this. But it's not cool, man. Nancy Schaefer, for Christ's sakes, Nancy Schaefer. You know, that lady did not just, she was 70 years old. 80 years old in Georgia. She didn't just off herself. It wasn't a murder, a suicide. That's a bunch of horseshit. She spoke out against this entity, and absolutely they murked her. There's nobody. Listen, I've been pretty adamant on Hong and Nick are, flaming homosexuals, and they bang each other, they pork each other. In my humble opinion, this is what I think, right? Like, there's nobody can change my mind that's a fact in my head, right? But nobody can change my mind that Nancy Schaefer was not murdered. Nobody. And if you don't know who Nancy Schaefer is, if you don't know the story of what happened to Nancy Schaefer, and you happen to be somebody who hates Don and Candace, I'm not going to tell you what happened to Nancy Schaefer. I'm not going to tell you who that lady is. You should do the homework. You should do the research. And then you should wonder if you've ever questioned why Don thinks that DCF CPS involved and in general has something to do with his daughter being kidnapped. There are some you have to look for on the internet that, listen, man, CPS is involved in a lot of shit right now. Very scandalous, very weird, people. I mean, even Seth's talking about it, right? But this is the guy saying that my son will never be a Summer Wells. Well, we're going to talk about Seth in 1 second. I got to take a potty break. Babe, talk to him. Explain. Hold on, guys. I got to take a leak real fast. 1 second. You got the heat on, man? It's hot. No, I'm not cold. So we're going to talk about Seth in 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 minute.
All right, move right along. I was coming to go potty.
Go.
Well, you're in here.
Talk to him, Noel, right there.
Oh, you told me to go. What do you, I don't know, what do you want me to say? I want, what? I turned it off, mofo.
All right. So now I want to talk about the thumbnail and everything else. Kind of like I kind of want to chop it up with you guys, man, about this this case, man. This Sebastian Rogers case and how it changed YouTube. Let me end this screen. Actually, we should go back over there to show you some stuff real fast. So let me show you what I have pulled up here, and then we're going to talk about the bigger subject here. I pulled some stuff from. This is just some. Now these two things I'm about to show you. Can you guys see this pretty good? Let's see. Yeah, well, actually, let's go back to that. So this is coming at you from M Butter on Twitter. I just thought this was like a constipated look. I can't tell. Now, personally, man, I think there's like way too many like BJ lives going on. Even when I visit my friends' channels and stuff, it's just like, how much are we going to talk about this fucking lady, right? But it's all good. There's points to be made, right? And I understand it. However, and what I'm showing you is on the screen for and solely for is I will be trying to put a fupa on myself as well as some rot leg attached to my body for an upcoming parody. So I will be doing that. Now, so be on the lookout, notifications on for a white boy having a rot leg and fupa. It's coming up. Now, with that said, I will also be channel announcement. I'm branching out, people. I'm branching out. I'm going to be talking about prison stuff a little bit more. I'm not changing the channel or nothing. We're always going to do what we do over here. So the content's not going to be changing that much. But I'm going to go back to like some prison stuff. Also, there's a couple people that I've been wanting to get. I got to put them on the hit list, right? Not to be taken like as a threat or anything for anybody watching, right? Desperately trying to like bring this to like a judge or something, if you will, right? But there's this person called the foodie booty that or some shit. I'm all over it, people. I'm all over it. And there's warrants to serve. And the sheriff is now back in session. So we have to cover this foodie booty person and a few others. But what I want to show you before I talk about the Sebastian Rogers case is what is going on with these filters.
Your child is missing. Your child is missing.
This is coming at us from FBI Frank, one of my faves on Twitter. He says, Andra is a pathological liar. And why does she always use the baby face filter? All of groomer sets, trolls, and weirdos. Now this is a retweet from Shay B that we like and support. She's the Volt of BHB videos, but this is a trend she's doing. Notice the weird green hair. But what's going on with these baby face filters, people? Now, whether it's the hair, whether it's the baby face filters, listen to the message.
Appearance. Chris and Katie also never attended. This is the only vigil that they showed up to, and it was to speak to Seth. And then after they left this vigil, they were seen in a motorcycle shop shopping for a motorcycle. At the time, their son was having a vigil put together by his dad, Seth Rogers. This is it. This was the only appearance at any vigil that Chris and Katie didn't even get out of the vehicle. Only Chris did. And then they go over to a motorcycle shop. I want you to think about that. Your child is missing. Your child is missing. You haven't seen your child for a significant amount of time. The father has a prayer vigil so everybody can come together and pray that your son comes home and comes home safely. Not only do you not attend any prayer vigil, the only one you do show up to is to demand things from Seth and then to take off to go motorcycle shopping. Why do they need to go motorcycle shopping? Did you guys know that Chris and Katie also left to go to a motorcycle rally while experience? Chris and Katie also never attended this.
Yeah, so she's definitely using the filter game. So I wanted to bring you that. And also, this is very important. This is also coming at you via FBI Frank, homeboy. I posted this on my community wall earlier this week. Why do this two stalker creeps of at night Grapist Protection Group do as much as work for grapists and minor attracted people? Why did Seth fire legitimate investigators who wanted to vet Team Green researchers' backgrounds? Why did they target two outspoken women in Pennsylvania? Now, if you didn't catch this, it's on my community wall. This is the at night logo for the company, or whatever the hell you call it. Now, on to the right here is a little graph. As you can clearly see, this blue thing here, boy lover, is what it stands for. Now, right here, this animated neon type of similar object is for child love online media activism people. Now, one can go further. One can go further now. One can go further. What the hell did I just do? Now, why did I do that? I just hit a button. Okay, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. So what I was, look at the screen. Here's that night. And this one says a boy lover. Down here at the bottom, this one, child love online media activism. Now, what color is this at night right here? What color is this? Child lover. Actually, let me do it like this. Child lover. It's a lot to think about. Now, I don't know what all that means. I think it's worth having a look-see. I think it's worth having a look-see. I showed you the AI. I was going to play this maybe at the end. All right, bam. Let's have a conversation now. Okay, so I'm going to just go to all my comments. Very weird, very weird, very weird. It's a very weird wormhole. Look, here's my thing on this, right? In my view, Sebastian Rogers' case coverage has absolutely changed YouTube, right? People just by so many levels, right? I've never seen so many like trying to get into the courtroom reaches in my entire existence on YouTube, right? I've never seen it. I've seen people just start freaking out, right? I've been involved in major wars on Twitter, and thank you to all my soldiers and my fellow comrades. We are still undefeated in battle. But you know, on YouTube, I've seen people like turn on each other and you know, and just go down left field, right? I've never seen this before, you know. I've never seen this before. You know, this lady, Chronicles of a Shady. I used to be like semi-cordial with this lady, right? Then this happened, the team thing happened, and this lady was like literally stalking Jay's chat. I've been going into Jay's chat for years. But when the Sebastian Rogers thing got went down, this lady Chronicles of the Shady had a whole heart attack that I was in Jay's chat, right? I'm like, I'm reading her DM, like, what are you like? How stupid is this? Like, I've been going there for years, but she was big mad about Granny. She hates Queen Bee. She just sounds like a hater. Like, it's very weird. But what I mean is, like, this, and I'm just using her as an example of so many creators, right? People lost their brains when the Sebastian coverage would come out. Chronicles of the Shady, while I was okay with her in the past, is because she would call out people like Bullhorn Betty. Now she's on the same team. She would call out people like Nick the Hat, right, for his racism. Now she only, she selectively chooses who's racist and who's not, right? Nick the Hat is not one of them because they're always retweeting her stuff. Like, if you really felt somebody was racist on this platform, you would block them or would not allow them to retweet your stuff, right? But it's because this lady, she's just a full-on hater, and she spazzed out on me in this case. Not a problem, because she's telling me that one of her family members died, was murdered, but you're too invested and worried, right, about how much super chats, right, Queen Bee is making. You're too invested and mad about Granny's watching and Jay is for justice, and you cannot stand Cluminati, but you're literally you're wasting your life and time watching people that you dislike and hate, rather than going advocating for the person who took the life of your family member, which I should fully expose. And I should put that out on the internet, and I should smear it and hurt your feelings. But people, I'm only giving an example of how people have lost their minds. Then all this lawfare stuff happened. In my comments, people have been telling me for almost well over a year and a half now, Seth is in it for the money. I don't know. But now that I have to hire a lawyer for a second protection order, how is this not a thing for money? How? They totally fumbled and they anti-slap. Just the whole thing, man, is very weird. It's very weird. And for a long time, I would say, look, man, I don't know if Seth had anything to do with Sebastian going missing, because I just don't see the evidence there. But what is all this, like, using YouTubers to what is really happening here? What is really happening here? It's very weird. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. That's, everybody knows that. But what's really happening here? I don't know if I can disagree with any of these comments at this point. But before I used to just, push some of these things to the side and not pay attention. But I don't know if any of these are wrong. I can't disagree with that at all, Michelle. It's very, very strange, people. It's very strange. I don't know. I can't call it. I'm not gonna ever say that anything's out the window, but there seems to be some type of financial thing behind this whole theme. Okay, there really is, and with the little bit of exposés that we've seen TikTok Tony have a little bit of success in the courtroom. We've seen him get wrecked in the courtroom a couple times, right? But that you have these people come in, for the longest time, my whole thing was like, how could you hire these people who advocated for, a guy who raped all these women, what he did to the undercover cop, but they're just there to stir up and disrupt and for lawfare. Like, was all this just a grift? Was the whole thing just a grift? Was this whole thing just a grift? People, you can't rule that out. This whole thing was a grift, people. Man, there's something going on in the beginning with the first reward fund. I know it's been talked about before, but we peeled it back. That the connections with that guy in that gas station and that weird ass shit in the attic. They have a white supremacist thing going out there. That gas station, people. This was a whole grift. Everybody got paid. Dog the bounty hunter comes in. He's selling a book. He's got a dog cast, a new podcast that's dropping. Right? You can't tell me he didn't use Sebastian's case to promote all that. Now you can't turn the TV on without seeing this blonde pubes everywhere talking about the escaped inmates, right? But he doesn't have anything to push right now, right? Sebastian's case, he did. Even Coffin Deffer is peeling back right now, right? And she was all the way in. I almost thought, what is she going to get paid for? Everybody is getting paid, people, if you really look into this. Everybody is getting paid. People are getting broke off paid. And many were quick to sign a piece of paper to try and get paid if they weren't. And I'm so glad that failed in the courtroom. Listen, this is why we will fight this fucking thing to the fullest, because we're just not letting this go down, people. No way. And there's a lot that I really, really, really want to say so much I can, man. So much I can, but I don't want to lose either. And I'm not going to get paid. Although I don't know my pain and suffering. What about my feelings? People, this whole thing has been a grift, in my humble opinion. You know, why does it say on stuff that I'm getting served that people are working for Seth Rogers? Why? What does that mean? What does that mean? This isn't the first time that this has happened. It's happened before with Hong. And they do work for Seth Rogers. People, this is getting weird, people. This is getting weird. It's getting weird, people. It's getting weird. I see what true crimes are using clickbait now, since Sebastian is not paying them. Dolly Channel clickbait became obvious. Yeah, he always has clickbaited, in my humble opinion. I don't know, man. I don't know when Seth was broke as fuck before. Who wrote this? Michelle P., you were on the something tonight. I've put a couple of your comments on the screen. And I will share with you a story that I was told. And I said this before, and people did not believe me. I don't know why. This was shared with me. Not only is your comment true, but it goes to show you the obsessiveness of Seth Rogers had with Katie. And you're right, he was broke. He was so broke, he could not afford a bed. Chris and Katie gave him one of their old beds because he was broke. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't take one of me and Noel's beds because there's a whole bunch of snail trails in the bed. It doesn't matter if you wash it and scrub it. It doesn't matter. I leave big old I leave big old happy moments all over that mattress, right? You probably don't want it, even if you can't afford one. You should see when I have a wet dream. It's about this. It looks like someone spilled a gallon of ice cream on me. You don't want it. Not only did Seth take it, sleep in it, probably whack off in it, allegedly. When he was starting to get on his feet, he didn't buy a new one. He did not buy a new bed. You kept the one that Chris and Katie gave you that we're banging on, that there's snail trails everywhere. Why? Because you're obsessed. You have obsessive behavior. Everybody knows this. People don't know about the bed. I'm telling you about the bed. You can seal, sign, and deliver that. I'm telling you about the bed. This actually happened. The dude is obsessed. Obsessed. I don't know where and what that does into what we're talking about, right? But he was broke, and there's something about obsessed behavior. There's something about not letting a woman go. There's something there that I don't know how to tie in. I'm not going to go full conspiracy here, but all that happened. I don't know. So here's what I do know. We know. We know the man was massively obsessed about the woman. He couldn't let her go. Now, what does that have to do with money? We can figure that out. If we can just figure that out, then we can get somewhere, right? There's a money aspect of this thing that we all know, right? And then there's the obsessive thing. Like, you guys know he's slaying mud. Even that clip I just played that I sourced him for, I tried to source him, as a Don Candace thing, where he's talking about, the laws, why doesn't this place, even in that little clip, he shits all over Chris and Katie, because every time publicly he will. The obsessiveness, right? People, the bed thing is I'm not joking. It's not a parody. This is not a funny moment. People, the dude got on his feet, right? That'd be like, let me just give you guys paint a picture for you. Everybody knows I've done time before. That'd be like, I just got out of prison, right? And Noelle has moved on, right? And she's now, banging some dude, right? And I'm on my dick, right? And Noelle's man goes, hey, I know you ain't got much and shit, man. Here goes this bed. Right? Yeah, I probably would. But I would. I'm not sleeping in it, first off. But just for an example, I'm sleeping in this bed that my ex and this new dude have been doggy style and every position, right? Who knows? I've been in prison. Who knows, right? Now I get on my feet. I start getting things, get my license back, get my good job, this and that, blah, 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 blah. I can afford to get a new bed. I purposely don't. That is weird. Put a 1 in the chat if it's weird. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, nah, I think I'll keep the bed. I'm just dying to see the 2s. It's fucking weird. I think my mouse broke. Nope. Yeah, I don't know about the money, man. The money is, listen, I guess, man, I don't know what's going on with the money. I believe that Knight joined just to do the RICO. Yeah, I think so too, straight talker. That was the plan from the jump. That's actually a really good comment. I never thought about that before. I was gonna say they own. Well, I think everybody can come across like they just joined just to disrupt stuff, right? You know, I remember watching this case from the beginning, and after watching everything that happened to Don and Candace, right? This is what did it for me. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this. Running Bear. I know Running Bear and a few other people in this chat. Avery and who else is over here? I don't want to not say somebody. Glenda and a lot of you guys. I'll say it like this. I know a lot of you guys have been around these streets for some time. So I know a lot of you sat here and watched the same tragedy pimps, right? Crucify Don and Candace, right? Then not only that, then the tragedy pimps were contradicting themselves off of the coverage they did in Summer's case with Don and Candace, with this new overlord of Seth comes into the picture, right? Like they were saying all these crazy things about Don, and then Seth was getting accused of it. And I'm sitting back like, oh, let's see what's going to happen now. And they would defend Seth. And I'm like, you were the one saying what? And it kept happening. So there's that whole aspect, right? But then the whole thing of like, I don't think anything will top the drama of Summer's case. Sebastian's case kept going like, rise and rise and rise. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Everything on YouTube changed. All these, you start seeing people in courtrooms. You start seeing what I just said. It's all very different. Then you start learning a lot of these people are actors. Some type of they're in some type of production. It's all super weird. You know, everybody's not stupid, and the internet already has a conspiracy mindset. We all question shit 3-4 times. Most people watching true crime content or any of this, y'all been hurt, y'all been burnt. You ain't just taking anything for face value. You got to look into it a little bit. And even if you don't personally look into it yourself, you watch somebody or pay attention to channels who do look into it. That's what I mean. And it's just, it's all very weird. There's something's not adding up right. And what I don't like is like, we can't just let this thing go. You know, there's way more to this. There's way more to this. What I've been noticing on YouTube is like, and I hate to say this, but it looks as though people are like, yeah, Sebastian's case, been there, done that. No, there's something else going on over here. There's something else happening here. And I don't know what's going on. I haven't figured it out. But people should not run away from this. People should not just be quick to be like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Straight talkers telling the truth now. I want to say this. I'm not one to ever blame a parent, even though Seth rubbed me the wrong. I tried to still not go there. He changed that. He just doesn't stop. I feel bad because of how I feel. I don't know if you should feel bad. And I hadn't gotten to that point yet. But a lot of people like Straight Talker feel this way. Creators who I've never seen bash parents before start going ham on Seth. And I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. Or what I'm not the moral god to say what you can do and what you can't do. And these creators are good people. It's just very strange, man. he changed this thing. He changed this thing. And I think this thing was done by design. This is a very calculated. It was all done by this thing here is done by design. People he brought in. This thing is bigger than what we think. I think people should not let this go. I think it's not been there, done that with Sebastian. And I don't want to sound like, you know what I mean when I say that. Like why? It doesn't sit well with me at all. He is Glenda. I can't get the end comments on the screen. It's pissing me off. Seth is using this as a way to hurt Katie. Yes, 100%. I can't blame any of the parents until I see proof. I hear you. I do worry government offices have come to believe they have a right to make permanent decisions based on their personal decisions. Wait, am I way behind or something with this? Let me go back down here. He should have been following up on tips. There we go. Now I'm not squinting. Okay. It's placed everywhere. Sounds like a... Wait a minute. Something the fuck is up. It's crazy, man. I totally believe it's like a pyramid scheme for real, Matt. Something is up here, people. I don't have the answers, but something's just not right here. I've never seen so many people dragged into court. People, this is the second protection order that I am involved in. You know, and it's very weird, you know. Sometimes I go down these conspiracy these conspiracy things that I like to entertain, you know, that don't attack anybody, or, you know, a deep dive in. I like to entertain this stuff sometimes, you know. It's not my normal thing. I keep telling myself, like, why am I getting involved in all this stuff? Why are they involving me? What am I doing to bother people? Is it that I for the most part, man, I make parody stuff, and I poke at people's egos. There's something for that to say there, people. Like it is, you know. If you look at my channel versus other people who cover Sebastian, I'm not like one of the top views on that. You know, I'm on like the bottom of the echelons of views. People, you know, come over here for a good laugh. They know I'm gonna keep it real. But like, what are you so mad about? What are you so mad about? Or is it you want everybody silenced? Or is it that there's only a few of us on this side with established channels, and you want us all silenced, no matter if it's parody or not? That might be it. That might be it. The issue I have is it started with Sebastian. Had no access to the internet. Sebastian plays online, and Sebastian is home alone while his dad works online. I do not like stories changing. This is very true. And matter of fact, I have something about this, guys. Let me share this. So I think I played it. Yeah, I played this clip before. Where's it at? Here it is right here. This is to that comment, guys. So FBI Frank says, why did Seth Rogers lie about his son's online access at his house? Given the predators lurk in games, surely that would be the first thing to tell law enforcement. this deadbeat of a domestic violence offender already had a narrative to run with. So let's listen to it.
My son's been missing for 15 months. And they don't care. I would love to see them actually conducting more searches. I'd like to have some communication on the tips that have come in just with me, so that I know that when a tip comes in, I'm not following up on what job they're supposed to. We need more than just one set of eyes on this case, but it all falls on my shoulders to ask people to help find my son. My son means something to me. These people should be doing their job. It's a federal oversight law on places like CPS, DCS, the Amber Alert, getting it redone, and taking it out of people's hands that don't care about the children. A parent demands answers. We demand answers because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me. My son's been missing for 15 months. And they don't care. I would love to see them actually.
Yeah, Eric Jasper, absolutely. Something to Easter last year, TRD True Talks, but I think Dog will magically find him. It's just crazy, man. He triggers me so much. I get it. And that's what I mean. He's changed. I don't want to say he has changed YouTube. This case has changed YouTube. There's something there, y'all. I don't know what it is. I used to dismiss people saying he's making all this money. And how could I do that? There has been a GoFundMe. There has been multiple different reward funds. I'm not talking about the fake 500 billion that At Night's doing, right? Before that, right? There's all types of links to money. There's no way that we know that the coworkers came together. They put their PTO in to give them time. There's a lot of money here, a lot of money, and there's extreme jealousy or obsessiveness. I don't know which one it is. Both. It is just and there's something about people not being able to voice these things. Like, I'm always going to say these things. If I genuinely feel this way, maybe I probably shouldn't have shared that story with you that was told to me about the bed earlier, but I'll deal with that. I'll cross that bridge when it comes. I'm going to speak on these things because there's only a few people who do look at the whole picture. There's only a few people who do, not take every word this guy says as, almost biblical. And it seems like those people keep getting lawfare thrown their way. I don't understand why. It's getting weird. Something is strange. Even to the point where after they're getting served up in court, losing in court, it still continues. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, we will continue to fight it. We will continue to fight it. We will continue to talk about it. We will. Absolutely. We will not be silenced. We will not be shut up. And we'll continue to always call it out. The bed bug. That's actually a good one. Who remembers the video came out of a YouTuber? I don't know who was talking about some sort of device disruptor that caused all the cameras in the area to not operate correctly. I think that was someone talking about Katie, though. I think that someone was talking about Katie and her military background or whatever is what that was. Unless if you're talking about a light video, It could have been Mob Crew and his 7,000 videos that he's made. That interview from Seth's army that expected him to do something, so bed bugs. He is a control freak, yes. Here we go, back to Straight Talker. Tony is there filming the entire video. The cameras were working. That was all gossip, yes. Yes, that's correct. I would ask cops and law enforcement to help me out, but it'd be there. Yeah. What's up, Miss Paula? They said Katie Proudfoot was beside herself when Sebastian disappeared. So there's a video I was going to review, but I haven't heard it all yet. I'll give you guys something to listen to, right? I was like a little bit halfway done with it. I don't want to review it right now because I don't know if it's good or not. But so I guess before I tell you about this channel, let me show you this, right? So I was blocked once again from a one of these behavior experts, right? Now you can't make this shit up, people. Watch this. I posted this earlier on my X. Look at this shit. Remember that little boy that Trump made a Secret Service? They found 3 additional tumors within him. So keep him in your prayers tonight, y'all. I don't know if you guys follow that story. You remember that, babe? Yeah, very sad. So this guy, Uber Fubar, amateur behavior statement analyst, has blocked me. Now, isn't that interesting? Now watch this. He goes, he's talking to Chris and Katie. People are calling you cowards. I want to build a profile on Sebastian. So he's trying to get a hold of Chris and Katie. I jump right in. I jump right into the thing and I'm like, so I said, here's my post. So another quote, behavior analyst quote, blocked me like the coward after calling Chris and Katie quote cowards for not talking to him. You can't make this shit up. But the point of me showing you this was there is a guy on YouTube. Okay. I don't know much about this guy. Okay. But his channel is called, I'm going to end this one kind of with something for you guys to listen to on your own terms, right?
And that is what is.
He's an Australian gentleman. This came out 4 days ago. It's had about 5,000 views. And the channel name is actually called Practical Linguistics. Okay, let me put it on the I'll drop it in chat right here. Apparently he's one of these behavior guys. Wait, that's not it. Ignore that. That's not a dry drift. That's not a dry drift. Hold on. So this guy, I was listening to this before I went live. I wanted to review it, but to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you where he was going with this. I couldn't tell you if it was pro or anti, and
Tell you where he was going.
I'm dropping it in chat right now. But I'll also put it on the stream so you guys know where to go. I was listening to this and he was kind of dead in the middle, y'all. And I want to listen to more dead in the middle type of stuff, Let me just do this one more time. Let's see if I can pull it up. Where's that? Didn't send. Shit. Try sending again. Here we go. All right, here we go. So here's the video. Okay. Now it's pretty long. So I guess this is supposed to be a come on, man. Like a deception detective type of dude.
Is another way of saying realizing, which is.
It says Sebastian Rogers, this is what happened. Almost 4,000 subs. The video's a half an hour long, or I would review it with you guys, but I will drop the link in chat and I'll put it in the description box for anybody catching this on the replay. But I just want to take you guys some of you guys' comments, and Noel put something in the oven for dinner. What's up, Cynthia? What's up, True Talk? If Seth is involved, this is my tinfoil speculation. I speculate that he was gonna find him on Easter the Easter surprise, but the whole thing went sideways. Now he won't be found until he's 18. Hey, look, I can tell you this. My wife has a conspiracy. And it kind of has, it's kind of similar to that. It's not the exact conspiracy, but look, a lot of people think that Seth, and this is me being a YouTube creator and me reading a lot of emails and a lot of DMs, a lot of everything. But a lot of people think that Seth took Sebastian somewhere, put him somewhere until he's 18. So, and this is something I've seen a lot. Okay. Even my wife happens to think something like that. You know how many times we argue about theories and this and that, and people telling her something, it's people telling me something, people telling us something. You have no idea. You just don't. I don't know. What I'm saying in this live is this case changed YouTube altogether. There's YouTubers going to court all the time, has to fight for their own free speech all the time. There's some type of element of money. There's some type of element of bad actors with a plan coming together, and all this is unfolded in front of our face. There's some type of element of jealousy and obsessiveness. Are these conspiracy theories? No, these are things that we have seen and we can put together. I don't have to be a behavior analyst to tell you guys this. We can see this, right? Now, why is this important? Because it's easy to say, well, Katie and Chris did it. Oh, tell me how. You can't? Nothing? Oh, 5 CPS reports. Can we see them? Okay, so you can't show me nothing. Okay, good. Well, here's what we've came up with. So these things are important. The general is a joke. Fame? Fame. Hate. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that, Mama. The same was done to the Wells. Vernon Bear. Yes. Me to damage goods and Vernon Bear. Oh, me to damage goods and Vernon Bear. Oh, hell yeah. Cool. You got one. What's going on? Written in the stars. How are you, Mama? Just not seeing you now. Down there. Glenda. I'd take all this bullshit very seriously if that were me. These people out here are fucking nuts. What I worry is one of these parents having to defend themselves and live with it too. Excellent point. Excellent point. Jaden was the one of the first searchers with Seth disappeared to Florida conveniently. And when I talked to Seth, he said Jaden went dark because he told him to. Wow, I never knew this. Wow. I think Sebastian ran away. He had a tough time with his parents. Good comment, Lori. Here's why I showed you that video. That video I just put in the comments. You can just Google. This guy is his theory is Sebastian got hit by a car. He's one of these, what this guy is as a voice analyst. So I guess apparently this guy can like listen to me and tell if I'm lying or not. Not by like my mannerisms, not by like my hand movement. I do talk about my hands a lot, but like I guess like by my voice. Look, I don't know, people. I'm just letting you know. I have not watched the video in full, but apparently this guy is going to break down why his theory is Sebastian got hit by a vehicle, and he goes about this through things that you have to watch it. Again, I was kind of locked and loaded, and then I went live. I'm going to finish it after this live. It's something I haven't heard yet, so I want to, and then I'll probably listen to it again because I want to fully understand what he's saying. And if it's shenanigans by any means, he'll have a parody coming. So we'll keep him on the chopping block. By the way, parody coming this weekend. I'll probably gonna make it tomorrow. I have to figure out how to make a fupa and put it on me and a rot leg. So fupa's easy. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with one of those fanny packs, but I have to get into like Noelle's like tight pants or something like that. And then so it's gonna be difficult because I'm probably gonna have to like tuck the old cock piece. I'm gonna have to tuck the cock and balls, right, to incorporate the fanny pack as the fupa because we can't have two things popping out. And then I'm gonna have to make rot leg, which is gonna be tough. I think I can do it with some bubble wrap and maybe some cranberry sauce. I'm not totally sure about how this is gonna go, but keep it in mind. It's going to be a Brittany J one. And then I have another one coming up for Foodie. What the hell is that lady's name? Foodie Booty? Foodie Beauty? Yeah, it's going to be tough. Bubble wrap paint it in my Gucci fanny pack. That's what I plan to do. Foodie Beauty is lady's name. We'll be getting two parodies out this weekend. How the F you think you would be hit by a car? I don't know. I'm not saying that it's true. I'm not saying that it's correct. I'm not saying I do like to hear all theories. I have a video in my members section. So I want to say that this might have came from SF. Well, let me clarify that now that I said something. So it's in my members. It's in my members section. What did SF say about this? Hold on, this is going back a while. Visibility, members. So hit and run. Sebastian Rogers hit and run theory. So yeah, so SF has said a few things about this in the past, hit and run theory. I believe it is something like he left the house and then walking down the street, some random person hits him, okay, and then kind of like drags him into the woods and then speeds off, right? Something like that. Okay? Don't quote me, okay? I don't want to, put words in SF's mouth because I'm cool with SF. It's something like that, right? Now, I don't know what this other guy says as far as what his hit by the car theory may be, and we don't know. Foodie Beauty, yes, I'm coming for her on a bear. Bobby's son. What about Bobby's son? Oh, got you. I got you. My bad. money because Seth was jealous of Chris. People, there's an element of money, this thing, like wild, or may have even known what, yes, or may have not even known what they hit. Yeah, 100% sane. This is very, listen, I would urge people to go check out SS. SF has spoken about this. So if I remember right, it's in my members. He was flying drones in an area where he thinks that, so SF was flying drones, right, in an area where he thought Sebastian may or may not have been gotten hit by a car, right? And it's a long stretch of a road. He even had like this thing organized online where if you wanted to help search from your house, you could by searching the area with your computer and stuff. SF has good ideas. He has found some people. I like SF. We are cool. We gotta keep we can't veer away from the professionals in the case, people. You know what I'm saying? Or professionals in general. You know. All right, listen. I'm gonna jump off this thing, man. I don't know. This thing has definitely changed YouTube. I hope I brought some type of clarity. I hope I brought some type of insight into the Josie thing, even though I don't have an answer of how they can get the kid back. So just by some insight, you know, just by a little bit of a conversation between Don and myself, you know that they've written the judge and all, you know. Hashtag bed bugs. Fuck it. It is what the cat's out of the bag now. It is what it is. And I don't care. It needs to be said. There's something weird here, people. And look, an update on the current legal thing that we're involved. Again, it was initially filed on me, denied. Okay, they had to remix it, if you will. Tried to tie me and Noel into one restraining order, denied. They remixed that for a separate one on the well. We'll see how this thing pans out. We'll see how this thing pans out. I would love to emphasize. I would love to talk about it. I would love to tell you so much more. But unfortunately, I'm going to stay quiet right now. Until the next one, y'all. Much love, much respect. Peace. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like. Subscribe to my clip channel at WHITEBOYRADIO Clips. And in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.